Hey guys, welcome back to this week's new video. Today we're gonna learn 5 quick tips for mixing your music as a music producer. These tips will really help you out if you're just starting to mix your music, and it will help you make your songs sound much better. So make sure you watch this video till the end, and without wasting any time, let's dive into it. Tip number 1. Leveling. When you're starting your mixing session, you need to make sure that your tracks are in proper levels. You can level your track by using the mixer in your digital audio workstation or DAW. Now when you're leveling, your goal should be to check that none of your tracks in your session are clipping. You can check that by looking at the meter. Your meter should not show that red signal. If your meter is showing that red signal, it means that your track is clipping. So make sure that your track doesn't clip. The ideal rule when you are leveling is to provide at least -6 dB to -3 dB of headroom, which means that the loudest parts in your track should peak at around -6 dB or -3 dB. That is because when you are in the mastering stage, you'll have a good amount of headroom to bring those levels up. So always make sure that your levels peak at around -6 dB or -3 dB. Tip number 2, which is panning. Now your finished track will mostly be in a stereo format and will be heard in a stereo pair of headphones, speaker and other systems. So make sure that you use panning to create a width in your mix. So if all of your tracks are in the center channel, your track will sound really congested and it will have no width to it. Panning creates a stereo field in your track and it makes the track more enjoyable for the listener. Now when you're panning, always keep in mind that the bass frequencies and the sub-frequencies should be in the center channel. That is because bass and the sub-frequencies are mono and they always stay in the center channel. If you pan the bass frequency in the right or left channel, it will sound really odd. You can try it out and experience it yourself. So always keep in mind to keep the bass frequencies, which is the bass, and the sub-frequencies in the center. And rest everything you can pan according to your taste and your preferences. Also, if any of your tracks are panned to the left or the right channel, and in some particular part in your song you want to bring that channel to the center channel, for example you have a guitar track which is panned to the right channel and you want to bring that guitar channel to the center channel in the guitar solo, so you can bring that guitar channel from right to center by using the automation in your DAW. And once the guitar solo is done, you can again automate that guitar channel from center to the right pan channel. Tip number 3. Providing space in your mix. Now when you're producing a track, you add a lot of elements to your track such as a guitar, bass, drums, synth and lot more. And each of these tracks have their own frequency range. For example, a piano has a different frequency range than a guitar has a different frequency range than a bass guitar. So all these instruments and elements have a different frequency range. And all of these elements of your track live in an area called the frequency spectrum. So when you're mixing, you should always keep in mind that these frequencies of all these elements should not clash with each other. You can do so by using an equalizer. For instance, we have an electric guitar track. And when we load an equalizer with a frequency spectrum, we can see that there are a lot of low-end rumbles in the electric guitar track, which can clash with the bass guitar. So to get rid of these low-end rumbles, we can add a low-cut filter in the equalizer so that it cuts all the low-end rumbles. And in this way, the electric guitar will not interfere with the bass guitar. Just like this, you can apply the same technique to the other tracks of your production. This will help you in creating a cleaner mix and your whole mix will sound much better and it will not have any clashing frequencies. So always remember this tip when you're mixing. This is the most important tip and this is the most important part of your mixing. Now let's take a break for a while. If you're enjoying this video, make sure you press the like button. It really helps me a lot. And if you really enjoy watching this content and you want to see more content just like this, make sure you press the subscribe button. And if you have anything in mind which I can cover in the future videos, please share those thoughts in the comments down below. It would be really helpful for me making content which you guys really want. Now let's get done with our final tips. Tip number 4. EQing your reverb and delay channel. This is a really important tip. It happens sometimes, or maybe most of the times, that you have EQ'd your tracks properly, and then also you are able to hear some muddiness and something strange going on with the mix. Most of the times that is because your reverbs and your delays are not EQ'd properly. That's because your reverb and delay channels are producing some muddy frequencies. You can EQ your reverb and delay inside your reverb and delay plugin itself. In most of the cases, there are low cut and high cut settings available in the reverb and delay plugins. But if not, you can add an extra EQ in the chain and you can cut those frequencies which are making the mix muddy. So EQing your reverb and delay channel is really important. Always keep this tip in mind when you're mixing. Now, fifth and the final tip, which is controlling the dynamics. Dynamic means the difference between the softest and the loudest part of any sound. Now in the whole mix, these soft and the loudest level changes may sound very abrupt and it may sound loose. So to control these, we use a compressor. A compressor is a tool in audio which helps in controlling the dynamics of any sound. A compressor brings the lowest sound and the highest sound to a normalized sound as assigned by the user. In simple words, a compressor is like a person sitting at a mixing desk. Whenever the sound is really low, that person increases the volume fader, and whenever the sound is very loud, that person decreases the volume fader. A song with controlled dynamics sounds really cohesive and glued. So when you're mixing, always control your dynamics with a compressor. That's all for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching till the end, and I hope it really gave you some value. If you think that this video gave you some value, don't forget to press the like button. If you want to see more content like this from this channel, make sure you press the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell icon so that whenever I upload a new video, you get notified each time. Thanks once again. I'll see you around in the next video.